9:30. I will call the February 10th, 2026 meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Up next on our agenda is swearing in of new Mill Creek Township firefighters. Supervisor Clear.
Thank you very much. Chief Cliff, did you have some words you'd like to say first?
Yes, good morning. Thank you for allowing us to occupy the beginning of your supervisors meeting to be able to do this important work of swearing in our new members of Mill Creek Fire Department. I'd like to thank our township supervisors, Kim Clear, Jim Bach, and Dr. Kylie Morris for your commitment to the township and to the fire department for us to continue this work. And it also wouldn't be able to be done without Melanie, who's put in a ton of work in our human resources department through all this process of building the fire department and all the interviews and process that we've done through here. So Sean and Diane, thank you for all of your work that you've continued to do for the fire department. We are going to be swearing in some additional firefighters, and it really is a monumental moment again for the township. With the swearing in of today's firefighters and the first assistant chief, this is bringing our township fire department to a total of 32 career firefighters within the township, and it will bring our part-time firefighters to 20. So, for the short 2.5 years that we've, been incepted for the township here, we've done a lot of work to continue to grow, and I think it ultimately shows the need for emergency services and fire protection within the township. So we definitely want to thank the community for your support and all the township resources as well. We recently did a strategic plan within the township where we brought in all of our volunteer departments as well as some career staff. We had community members that contributed to a community stakeholder to try to find out what the community wanted from the township fire department. As we're a new department, we wanted to hear from the residents first. And they made it very clear that they wanted a unified professional fire department. And, we're doing our work now to try to build that, to give the community what it deserves and needs. Some of the highlights from our strategic plan is we were able to develop our mission statement. In the Mill Creek Fire Department, we will selflessly serve our community by providing emergency response, fire protection, and public education. And we will proudly protect the lives and property and the environment with professionalism and compassion. We also were able to identify our guiding core values, which is integrity, compassion, respect, and courage. And through all these, we will be able to implement our vision, which is to ultimately be a unified model fire department that meets or exceeds best practices for emergency services while honoring our history. We will continuously improve our capabilities in the community that we serve. What I want to do next is I want to bring up our chaplain, Russ Moran. If you can come up and offer a prayer before we doing the oaths.
Good morning. Please pray with me. Almighty God, we come before you today with grateful hearts, thankful for this moment of honor, commitment, and new beginnings. We lift these firefighters who are being sworn in today, having answered a call that demands courage, sacrifice, and selfless service. As they receive their badges, may they always remember that this symbol represents trust, responsibility, and a promise to protect others before themselves. Grant them wisdom in their decisions, strength in times of trial, and compassion in every interaction. We also lift up our new Assistant Fire Chief, Will Anderson. As this badge of leadership is placed upon him, we ask for clarity of vision, humility and authority, and steadiness in command. May he lead with integrity, fairness, and respect, honoring those he serves and those he serves alongside. May their badges never be taken lightly, but always worn with pride, honor, and dedication to service above self. Watch over all members of the Mill Creek Township Fire Department. Protect them as they respond to calls in the light of day and the darkness of night. Keep them safe in body, strong in spirit, and united as one family. We also lift up the family of these firefighters into your loving care. Surround them with your peace that surpasses all understanding. In your holy name we pray, amen.
Amen.
Okay, next, we're going to start with our part-time firefighters. Today we have 3 part-time firefighters that will be getting sworn in. Dakota Catro, Austin Hawley, and Sean Marsden. If you guys can please come up front. Supervisor Clear will administer the oath.
Hello. Hold on. Okay, here it is. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and that I will discharge the duties of Mill Creek Township firefighter in Mill Creek Township, Erie County, with fidelity. Okay, congratulations.
Okay, while you guys are still standing there, if you want to have your families come up, we can get some pictures and go ahead and pin your badges as well. So while you can go ahead and pin your badges. So for our new part-time firefighters, you're joining a team that values teamwork, accountability, and professionalism. You're a critical part of our mission for our future. And your oath today represents a commitment to training, service, and to one another. Got him? Yep. Okay, great, thank you. Okay, next we have Chief Anderson. Yep. Yeah, bring him right up with you. You guys can come right up. Yep. We'll do the oath first, and we'll grab some pictures, and we can do the pinning.
How are you? Good. Oh, nice. Oh, you brought your dad, dude.
Retired firefighter.
Okay, thank you very much. Please raise your right hand. I, William Anderson,
I, William Anderson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support, defend, and obey the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge the duties
and I will discharge the duties
of Mill Creek Township Assistant Fire Chief
of Mill Creek Township Assistant Fire Chief
in Mill Creek Township, Erie County with fidelity.
in Mill Creek Township, Erie County with fidelity.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Today is really historic. Our first assistant fire chief in Mill Creek Township, this position exists to help lead the department forward. Chief Anderson will help with our management and implementation of our strategic goals, support our members, and to help ensure our mission, vision, and values are carried out every single day. This role definitely strengthens our leadership structure and reinforces our commitment to being a professional and unified department. I'm really looking forward to serving alongside of you, Chief. Thank you. Chief, did you have anything you wanted to say?
First, thank you everyone for this opportunity. Thank you for being here. This is a monumental occasion, not just for me, but also for Mill Creek Township, the public safety in the township, surrounding communities in Erie County. It's a position that I don't take lightly. And to the families of our new firefighters here today, please know that I take their safety, health, and wellness very seriously. And it is a great responsibility that I'm willing to accept to make sure that your family members come home to you at the end of their shifts and ultimately at the end of their careers. So please know that Chief Cliff and I are going to work very hard to make sure that that happens and do everything within our power to bring them home to you every day. Thank you.
Supervisors, did you want to get pictures real quick?
Oh, yeah, sure.
For our part-time firefighters and for Chief Anderson, if you guys want to come up, we're going to grab some pictures. For those of you that are here for the swearing in, this is going to be the last part of that. We're going to be grabbing some pictures out front of the building here. And then from there, we're going to be transitioning up to Kearsarge Fire Department where we have a brunch planned. So if you guys have time out of your day, if you want to join us, we would love to have you guys all meet us up at Kearsarge Fire Department for brunch following this.
Jim, you can't leave.
We can excuse ourselves, can't we? Oh, you need to. That'll be nice about the 5. 2 can. Get Daniel left sighting.
Thank you so much. Good to meet you.
Number 4 on our agenda is public comment on agenda items other than development or rezoning applications. Does anyone wish to comment on any of the agenda items on the current agenda? Hearing none, we'll move on to approval of the minutes from our January 27th, 2026 regular meeting.
I will make a motion to approve the minutes.
Seconded.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Call for a vote. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Approval of the bills. Do I have a motion to approve the bills as listed?
I will make a motion to approve the bills.
Seconded.
Okay, I'll call for a vote. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Number 7, public hearing on land development plan, which was tabled from the January 27th, 2026 meeting. Attorney Shaw?
Yes, I would recommend that consideration of the subdivision plan be tabled until the next meeting again. We have received a request from the applicant and the ultimate buyer of the property to table this matter until the next meeting. Tabling will not impact any deadline for a decision, as the applicant has requested in writing an extension of the deadline for 30 days. So I would recommend this to be tabled again.
Okay, is there a motion to table this subdivision plan?
I'll make a motion to table the subdivision plan.
Seconded.
Okay, I'll call for a vote. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I vote yes. Number 8, we have a series of bids and quotes. First one is for cell phone and tablets.
And I can take care of that.
Chief Cliff is not here.
Yes.
He's otherwise occupied.
I can go ahead and take care of the, would you like me to do all of the fire department's items at one time, or do you want me to do them separately for votes?
What do we have?
We have the Apple iPhone Pro 3-year contract for $429. And
You can do them all together.
okay, for $33.99 a month, and
$36.99.
sorry, thank you, $36.99 a month, and an add-on to the unlimited data plan, as well as an iPad Air 11 tablet under a 3-year contract for $549 per tablet with $36.99 a month, unlimited data. And then we also have the subject is radio mast subscription. The request of approval to add a radio mast subscription in the amount of $60 per month as an add-on service to the existing BRICS alerting system. This service allows all members to have real-time access to fire department radio transmissions, specifically the dispatch and TAC1 channels through the BRICS platform. This enhancement will increase situational awareness for both paid and volunteer members who may not have a pager or portable radio immediately available. It will be especially beneficial during major incidents, recalls, or when members are responding to the station, ensuring better coordination and preparedness before arrival. And both of these items were, by the way, in the budget for 2026, along with this water rescue PPE, and the request for approval to purchase water rescue personal protective equipment to outfit 12 firefighters assigned to water rescue operations. This purchase includes custom-fitted dry suits, which are tailored to each firefighter's measurements, neck, arms, legs, and torso, similar to structural fire gear. The total cost of the purchase is $25,148, and the expense was budgeted in the fire department's capital budget. With the increased frequency of water rescue responses over the last few years, it's important that firefighters are properly equipped to operate safely and effectively during these incidents. And I will make that in the form of a motion to approve the fire department capital purchases and subscriptions.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a second?
Yes. Seconded.
Call for a vote. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I also vote yes. Bid next up in bids and quotes is a torpedo blower. Director Stutzman.
Good morning. Thank
Good
you,
morning.
Chairman. Mulch facilities like the Millfair Compost Center generate a lot of loose organic debris, wood chips, bark, twigs, leaves, and dust. The Buffalo turbine blower is a large, high-volume blower that conveniently attaches to a wheel loader, blowing away debris much like a leaf blower. It will help our crews clear organic debris safely from our processing equipment after every shift, greatly reducing the threat of fire and irritation to the workers' eyes, lungs, and skin. They are currently cleaning the equipment with their hands, small brooms, and rakes daily. Our department received 3 quotes for the base options. One was from Land Pro for $7,995, one from Cleveland Brothers, $10,795, and Case Power for $8,900. We are also looking for some attachment accessories and received attachment accessory quotes from the 2 lowest quote options from Land Pro and Case Power. With the attachments, those quotes were from Land Pro, $11,729.13, and from Case Power, $12,271. It's my recommendation to approve the purchase of the Buffalo turbine blower with accessories from Land Pro Equipment for $11,729.13. This is an approved capital expense that is falling within the budgeted amount of $12,000.
Thank you.
I will make a motion to approve.
And I will second.
Okay, I'll call for a vote. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I vote yes. We have, I believe, 2 requests from the Public Works Department. Director Puda.
Thank you. Good morning. The Sewer Department is requesting to purchase a new Trimble GPS receiver and controller, along with the software to run the unit. The existing unit was purchased back when the Mill Creek Township Sewer Authority existed and does not work anymore due to outdated technology. This new unit will allow us to continue gathering field data in order to make future maps. An estimate was received from Precision Laser and Instrument Incorporated for the price of $21,878.48 under CoStar's number 193270. Funding for this purchase will come from the GIS Trimble unit line item of the sewer revenue capital budget. I recommend purchasing this equipment. Second one, the Sewer Department is requesting to upgrade our current CityWorks software. Currently we have 5 users, and this will upgrade, we will have 10 additional users. This software upgrade will allow us to do sewer permitting on CityWorks. A quote was provided for the upgrade from Trimble for the price of $18,400. Also provided was a quote for the training on this software from Trimble for the price of $4,500. Funding for the 10 additional licenses will come from the sewer revenue capital budget. Funding for the software upgrade will come from the software maintenance expense line item, and the training on this software will come from the seminars and training line item of the budget. I recommend approval to upgrade this software.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve the Public Works GPS and CityWorks upgrades.
Seconded.
Call for a vote. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I also vote yes. CPA audited financial statement proposals.
Yes, before you is a new 4-year agreement with Zelienkovsky Axelrod LLC for our audited financial statements for the calendar years of 2025 through 2028. I did send out requests for proposals to a few different firms. I did not get a response from one. The second one sent me an email response thanking them for consideration, but they have maxed out on their number of December 31st clients that they are able to take on. But I did receive a proposal back from Zelienkovsky Axelrod. Excuse me. The audit fees would be as follows. For the year 2025, $21,000. For the year 2026, $22,710. For the year 2027, $23,600. And for the year 2028, $24,550. There would also be an additional cost of $3,000 per year if a single audit is required.
Thank you. Any questions or comments on this?
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve.
I did just want to note here, it looks like on the proposal, it says proposal for auditing services for City of Altoona, Pennsylvania. Just on the table of contents.
Oh, that has to be, yeah, I didn't even realize that. On the proposal on the front page, it does says proposal to provide professional auditing services for Mill Creek Township, Pennsylvania.
Okay, just making sure.
Yes. On the second page, it says City of Altoona. But on the front page, it does say for Mill Creek Township, Pennsylvania.
Oh, goodness.
Gotcha.
I will second the
It's-
motion.
it's
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Call for a vote. Supervisor Clear.
Yes.
Supervisor Morris.
Yes.
My vote is yes. Vehicle leases from Parks and Rec, Director Esper.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Parks and Recreation Department is seeking approval for leasing 2 Ford F-250 work trucks through Enterprise on a 5-year lease. These trucks will replace 2 existing work trucks, a 2012 and 2013 Sierra 3500 HD dually work truck, and will be used regularly by our maintenance team for seasonal maintenance, towing, and plowing. It is my recommendation to approve the attached quote to lease the Ford F-250 work trucks for park maintenance team use. The 5-year lease has a monthly payment of $941.49 per vehicle. This was a budgeted expense in the Parks and Recreation operational budget, and I recommend the approval of the lease agreement.
Okay, thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve.
And I will second.
Okay, call for a vote. Supervisor Clear.
Yes?
Supervisor Morris.
Yes.
And I will be voting no. Number 10, page 2, newer amended ordinance under review. Attorney Shaw.
Mr. Chairman, I believe number 9, resolution 2026 R5.
Oh, yes.
One little one at the
Municipal
bottom.
records,
Sorry.
2026 R5. Got ahead of myself. Attorney Shaw.
Sure. Before you is a resolution to approve the disposal of certain municipal records maintained by the police department that are reaching the end of their retention period under the Municipal Records Manual. The police department records to be disposed of include MVRB WC footage, that includes test recordings through 12/25 of 2025, traffic stops through 11/25 of 25, incident only in special circumstances through February 23rd of 24, and case report, arrest report, and SRR unknown type reports through 2/23 of 2005. My recommendation would be to approve the disposal of these records.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve this resolution?
I will make a motion to approve.
Seconded.
Okay, I'll call for the vote. Supervisor Clear.
Yes.
Supervisor Morris.
Yes.
And I vote yes. We have a couple of ordinances under review. Attorney Shaw.
Yes, we continue the review of the subdivision and land development ordinance, as well as the fines and penalties updates, and hope to have the fines and penalties updates completed shortly.
Number 11 on our agenda is a sidewalk deferral request. Director Waldinger.
Thank you very much. Good morning. This is a sidewalk deferral request for the owners of the property at 6079 Schultz Road. They are building a new single-family home there. At this time, there are no sidewalks in the area along Schultz Road. This property is 2 properties north of the line between Mill Creek Township and Summit Township. And so at this time, the Zoning and Development Officer would recommend approval of this deferral for sidewalks at 6079 Schultz Road.
Thank you. Any questions or comments on this request?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Seconded.
Call for a vote. Supervisor Clear.
No.
Supervisor Morris.
Yes.
And I vote yes.
And if you want me to explain.
Yes, I was curious why you made the motion, but go ahead.
I would love to see all of our houses in Mill Creek Township, all of our neighborhoods have sidewalks. So I have been voting no on the sidewalk deferrals. So,
Okay.
but I support your decisions. You and Dr. Morris.
Understood. Are we okay, Cheryl, with that Vote? Okay.
Yeah, it passed.
Yeah, the vote's fine.
We're good procedurally?
Yes, and just so the public knows, what happens in these scenarios when that sidewalk is deferred, an agreement is signed by the parties, and then it is recorded so that, and that agreement provides that the township at any time can require the property owner to install the sidewalk. So it truly is a deferral, and the township still has the ability to require those sidewalks. And with the thought behind it is that as a number of, these congregate in areas where it would make sense to have a continuous sidewalk, then the township can go ahead and require these parties to put those in.
Okay. Number 12, we have an amendment to an agreement for services for the Mill Creek Golf and Learning Center. Attorney Shaw.
Yes, before you is the third amendment to the 2020 agreement for provision of management and select maintenance services for the Mill Creek Golf and Learning Center. The agreement is with Dave Smith, who has been operating the Mill Creek Golf and Learning Center since the 2020 golf season. The township previously amended the agreement in 23 and 24 to extend the term through October 15 of 2025. Our experience with Mr. Smith has been positive, and he has generated increased revenues each year he has been in operation. Under this amendment, the term is extended by 2 years and will go through the golf season of 2027, with a termination date set for October 31 of 2027. The second amendment also includes an optional 1-year extension at the election of the township. The remainder of the agreement remains in place. There are some tweaks to the scope of services to reflect what's actually happening in practice, and so the recommendation is to approve the agreement extension.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve.
And I will second.
Okay, I'll call for a vote on this. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I also vote yes. Number 13, request to PennDOT for a traffic signal warrant study. Director Waldinger.
Thank you very much. In response to some concerns from residents, the township has internally looked at that intersection and has also had discussions with PennDOT. And so before you now is a letter of request to be sent to PennDOT District 1, asking them to conduct a traffic signal warrant study at the intersection of PA Route 99, which is Edinburgh Road, and the Golf Club Road and Spring Hill Senior Living Driveway intersection. This study is required by PennDOT to determine whether a traffic signal can be built at an intersection. If the study determines that a signal is warranted, the township will be responsible for the installation, maintenance, and operations costs. This study will determine definitively whether a traffic signal is appropriate for this intersection, and I recommend submission of this request to PennDOT.
Okay, any questions or comments on this?
I'll be anxious to see what this study brings, though. I'll make a motion to approve the PennDOT District 1 traffic signal warrant study.
I did just have one comment for Mr. Waldinger. Is there any requirement if they find that there is not, that a traffic signal is not warranted?
There is no requirement. The requirement comes if a traffic signal is warranted, then we have to install it. If not, our hope is that PennDOT can provide us with some guidance as to any additional safety measures that could be taken at that intersection.
Thank you. I will second the motion for approval.
Okay, Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I vote yes. Number 14, Erie County Redevelopment Authority addendum to an agreement. Attorney Shaw.
Yes, you may recall that in September 12 of 2023, the Erie County Redevelopment Authority and the township entered into a professional services agreement for the provision of professional services by the Erie County RDA to administer the Mill Creek Township Business Development Revolving Loan Program. This loan program was initially started during COVID and was updated in 2023 and 2024. Before you is an addendum to that agreement that replaces Section 5C as follows. For each BDRLF loan and a monthly fee equal to 50% of any and all interest collected during each month of the term of the loan, and the reasonable and customary origination fee to be paid by each borrower at loan closing. So this essentially adjusts the payment that the redevelopment authority would get to manage the program. This was necessitated by their increased costs of overseeing and managing this program. The recommendation would be to approve this addendum.
Thank you. Do I have a motion on this?
I will go ahead and make a motion to approve.
Seconded.
Okay, call for a vote. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I vote yes. Number 15, second amendment to a parking license agreement with the church next door. Attorney Shaw.
Yes, in January of 2024, the township entered into a parking lot license agreement with the Westminster Presbyterian Church so that township employees could utilize the church parking lot next door for parking during the day. The parking lot license expired at the end of December, and the parties wish to extend the license an additional 12 months. The remaining provisions of the original agreement and First Amendment are unchanged. Under the terms of the agreement, the township will have a license to park up to 25 cars in the church parking lot, and the township will compensate the church $625 a month for those parking spaces. If the township needs additional spaces, those must be requested from the church, and the additional cost will be $25 a space. Under the agreement, the township will also provide in-kind services as follows: snow removal and salting services in the license area, fixing and patching of potholes and other deteriorated paved areas within the license area. The recommendation would be to approve this agreement.
I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve this agreement with Westminster Presbyterian Church.
Seconded.
Call for a vote. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I vote yes.
I want to just recognize that I know today's parking was a little difficult with the amount of people we had here for the firefighters. And then also Westminster Church does a food pantry, I guess, what do they? They donate food to, they have donated food that they give out to needy families. So that also takes place on Tuesdays. So that is why once a month, it kind of gets a little congested.
Okay, communications, anything further on the treasurer
I don't have anything.
side? Okay. Next, we have a hiring request, Public Works Sewer Department. Director Puda.
Thank you. The Sewer Department is requesting to hire Patrick Matiksowski as a sewer maintenance laborer. The date of hire would be 2/23 of 2026. His rate of pay would be $24.10 per hour. Patrick has worked for Safety Clean for 3 years as a driver, where he services and maintains pumps and chemical trucks. He holds a Class B CDL with tanker and hazmat endorsements. This position was open due to a resignation in the sewer department, and I recommend hiring Patrick.
Is there a motion to approve this new hire?
I will make a motion to
I'll make
approve.
a motion.
Oh, sorry, I will second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Supervisor Clear.
Yes.
Supervisor Morris.
Yes.
I vote yes. Okay, we have a training request. First one I have is for the leads.
I have one for the
I have-
JNET.
I have leads and JNet.
Yes, Leads and JNET Conference.
Chief Mook.
Thanks, Chairman Bach. Because I wasn't at the last meeting, and I understand there were concerns brought forward about our license plate reader situation, is it okay to make some comments on that first?
Yes, you're talking about what's become known as the flock cameras?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, go ahead.
So I'm going to read part of our department policy about license plate reading technology. Some excerpts here. Every plate read will be stored on each individual system for 30 days. This includes images, GPS data, and date and time collected. Data collected by the license plate readers is permitted to be shared with other law enforcement agencies. However,
Any public requests for license plate reader data must be submitted to and approved by the chief of police or his designee prior to release. Now, since this is investigative evidence, I highly doubt that I would ever release this to the public, but that caveat is in the policy. Next, a division commander, in this case Captain Kosensky, in charge of our investigative services division, is responsible for supervising the license plate reader equipment and its use. The division commander will conduct a biannual review and audit of all license plate reader data to ensure there is no personal use of the license plate reader equipment. These reviews will occur in June and December of each year. Also, I spoke recently with the Cafaro Company, and they passed along some interesting information. At their Eastwood Mall about 2 or 3 weeks ago, there was a burglary of a jewelry store. Their personnel checked their exterior mall surveillance cameras, and they saw a vehicle that came and went in close proximity to the time of the burglary. The Eastwood Mall contacted the local police department and forwarded this information to them. With that information, the police department located the license plate on the flock camera system. Then a query was made with the Ohio Department of Transportation, and a suspect vehicle was identified. Now, consistently, courts in our country have held that police do not need probable cause or reasonable suspicion to run a vehicle license plate. The act of displaying a license plate is a condition of operating a vehicle on public roads, and law enforcement officers generally do not need probable cause or reasonable suspicion to run a license plate through vehicle databases. The courts have held that this practice is permissible because checking a license plate is not considered a search under the Fourth Amendment, which protects people against unreasonable searches and seizures. I understand the concerns that some people have. Nobody wants to have their privacy invaded, but our use of this technology is limited for investigative purposes only. The first training request I have is this. The PA Justice Network and PA Chiefs of Police Conference will be held March 5th and 6th in State College, PA. The meetings will include trainings on such topics as JNet Active User Module Overview, JNet Security and Auditing Procedures, the Criminal History Information Act mandates, and clean system audits and error messages. I'm seeking approval to send our Special Services Division Commander, Captain Hauber, and our IT Manager, Chris Filson, to this conference. There are no costs to register. Lodging at the Penn Stater is estimated at $124 a night. 2 nights will be spent there. Fuel cost is estimated at $100. Per diem costs are $203.50 for each person. Total travel costs are estimated at $755. You want me to read the next request as well?
Go ahead.
Next, the FBI hosts a 2-week law enforcement executive development seminar, also known as LEADS, which is an executive training program for chiefs of police from law enforcement agencies having between 50 and 500 personnel. To attend, one must be nominated by the local FBI field office. I was nominated to attend the seminar this year by our local FBI office, and my application was approved. The training dates are April 12th through the 17th and August 16th through the 21st, and the location is Woodbridge, Virginia. There are no tuition costs to attend, and the FBI covers all lodging costs. Travel will be by department vehicle. Gas and tolls are estimated at $250 for both trips in total, and the per diem is $748 for the 2 trips in total. Total travel costs are $998.
Okay, thank you, Chief. Is there a motion to approve these training requests?
I will make a motion to approve the training requests.
I will second, and congratulations, Chief Mook, on your acceptance into this program.
He thanks you. Call for a vote. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I also vote yes. We have a request from the Fire Department, a training request.
Yes, I apologize.
Want to handle that, Supervisor Clear?
I will handle that one.
Chief Cliff is still absent.
Okay. Okay, sorry about that. Training request for full-time firefighter paramedic Tyler Hickernell to attend a continuing education class at Plymouth Fire Department presented by UH Medical Director Dr. Garalzi, focusing on the assessment and management of shock. The class will be held on February 16th, 2026. There is no cost for the class. Transportation will be provided. And I will go ahead and make that in the form of a motion.
Seconded.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Call for a vote. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I also vote yes. Director Stutzman has some requests.
Thank you. I'm going to start first with the MBA customer service training. The Manufacturer and Business Association held a training yesterday, Monday, February 9th, titled Customer Service. The class ran from 8 a.m. to noon, and this half-day program emphasized the importance of providing quality customer service and aimed at enhancing frontline service delivery, communication skills, and overall public engagement. This training was expected to contribute positively to service efficiency and customer satisfaction of the 54,000 residents in Mill Creek Township. It is my recommendation that we sent Amy yesterday, Amy Jablonski, our receptionist, to this course. For MBA members, the class was $145 per person, and it was an expense that was budgeted to be taken out of the training line item of the 2026 CRS budget. The second training I have is for multiple departments. This is for the high performance DISC personality test and workshop training. The DISC personality workshop presented by High Performance includes a DISC assessment and an engaging 4-hour training designed to strengthen communication, improve collaboration, and build team trust by helping participants better understand their own behavioral styles across the township and how to work more effectively with others. Whether leading teams, working across departments, or serving the public, understanding your personality style fosters stronger relationships and a more cohesive work environment. The workshop equips participants with the tools and insights they need to understand their own communication style, recognize and adapt to styles of others, and improve teamwork and reduce conflict, as well as enhance emotional intelligence and self-awareness. The cost is $155 per participant, and 43 participants across all the departments will be involved. That is a total investment of $6,665, and each department will take the cost of the workshop respectively out of their training line items. And the last training I have is, again, one that spans across all township departments. It is an MBA training called De-Escalating Emotionally Charged Situations. We request approval to offer an MBA training focused on de-escalation of emotionally charged situations, designed to equip staff with practical skills to manage conflict, regulate emotional responses, and communicate effectively under pressure. As high-stress interactions become more common in workplaces and public-facing environments, this training provides evidence-based techniques drawn from emotional intelligence and leadership practices to reduce escalation, improve safety, and strengthen trust. The classes will be offered on Friday, March 20th and Friday, March 27th from 8 a.m. to noon. The location is to be determined. The class cost is $1,250 per class. We plan on 35 people attending per class and holding two classes for a total of $2,500. And again, if we fill each class, that's approximately $35 per person.
That's it?
That's it. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Is there a motion to approve these trainings?
I'll make the motion to
I will
approve.
make that.
Oh, and I will second.
Okay. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Parks and Rec request.
Thank you. The Parks and Recreation Department is seeking approval for the Parks Maintenance Team, our foreman Scott Bridger, and laborers Phil Falbo, Joe Tallarico, and Ray Gloss to attend Site 1 University Pesticide Seminar on February 25th 2026, from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Zemzem Shrine Club. The maintenance team would take part in a full day of education, networking, and CEU credits that would be applied to their Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture pesticide application licenses. The course fee is $85 per person. Travel would be by department vehicle, and this course expense of $340 would come from the Parks and Recreation operations budget under our training expense line item. It would be my recommendation to approve the training for the 4 members of our park maintenance team on February 25th for a total of $340.
Okay, thank you. Is there a motion to approve this training?
I will make a motion to approve.
And seconded.
Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I vote yes. Administration requests, Supervisor Clear?
Yes, I am making a request to attend the Manufacturers Association Women in Leadership Conference. Dr. Morris and Melanie Page, our treasurer, are out of town, so they weren't able to attend, but all were invited. But the MBA is hosting their 77th Annual Women in Leadership Conference on Thursday, March 26, 2027, at the Bayfront Convention Center at a member cost of $65. This event brings together women in business and leadership roles from across the region to connect, converse, network, learn, and grow as leaders of the community. The event features speakers, panel discussions, and leadership seminars. And I would like to attend this conference at the cost of $65 to be taken from the training line item of the administration budget.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a motion for this training?
I'll make the motion to approve.
Okay, and I'll second. Supervisor Clear?
Yes?
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
And I vote yes. 2025 Annual Report of the Planning Commission. Director Waldinger?
Thank you very much. Per the Pennsylvania Municipalities Planning Code, the planning agency for a municipality is required to provide a report to the governing body by March 1st of each year of their activities for the previous year. Before you is the 2025 Annual Report of the Planning Commission. I will just summarize quickly. They did hold all 12 of their scheduled meetings in 2025. That meant we had agenda items for every single meeting. Overall, the Planning Commission reviewed and made recommendations on 13 small subdivisions, 12 land developments, 4 road dedications, 3 conditional use requests, 1 rezoning request, and 1 preliminary plan for a major subdivision. The Planning Commission would like to make the following recommendation for the Board of Supervisors in 2026, and that would be to complete the update to the subdivision and land development ordinance that has been in the works.
Okay, thank you for that report, Matt. Next, we have an employee recognition.
Yes, thank you.
Jessica, you handle that?
Yes. The high five from the public and cheers for peers ongoing campaigns both encourage the general public and our coworkers to celebrate outstanding service from those working in public service. If you have noticed a township employee going above and beyond, please take a moment to recognize their efforts by scanning the QR code on the flyers located around the building or on links found online. At this time, I'd like to recognize Billy Sandstrom and Corporal Ryan Presnar. Billy Sandstrom was recognized by a resident for attending to a lost dog on the resident's property. The resident detailed that it was extremely frigid outside, and Sandstrom was out there for a while trying to gain the dog's trust in order to take it in and then report it to a shelter. The resident said that he deserves a pat on the back because he did save the dog's life. Ryan Presnar was recognized by a coworker for helping out a citizen who was leaving a Parks and Recreation class during a snow squall. The resident's car became stuck in the snowstorm, and Presnar called a tow truck to help. She was nervous to travel home, so Presnar followed her home to ensure her safety, and he demonstrated compassion and professionalism.
Thank you very much. Any further comments on that?
Congratulations, though, to those individuals who received their high five. And, let's just take a minute to thank all of our employees. What do we have, 250 employees that are working in public safety and the betterment of this township every day? They do one heck of a job.
Yeah, especially in this weather.
Yes.
Next, we had executive sessions on January 29th and February 6th to discuss litigation matters related to land development, subdivision, state court litigation, and code enforcement, personnel matters related to planning and development in the fire department, public safety matters related to police and fire, real estate matters related to parks and rec facility and township leases, also litigation matters related to zoning hearing board appeals, code enforcement, state court litigation and land development subdivisions, real estate matters related to parks and rec facilities, fire department, township leases, public safety matters related to police and fire department. All those were on the February 6th agenda. Anything further, solicitor communications?
No, nothing further on my end, thank you.
Student ambassador report.
Hello. It has been a landmark start to the second semester at McDowell, which officially kicked off on January 27th, with students showing great amount of momentum in both academics and extracurriculars. We recently celebrated a historic athletics milestone as head basketball coach Kevin O'Connor became the school's all-time winningest coach with 233 career wins, surpassing Gus Anderson's long-standing record. We also extend our gratitude to the many student athletes who helped achieve this feat. Celebration also continued with a successful senior breakfast for the class of 2026 in our new hub, featuring an impressive spread from our nutrition group services team. McDowell students also continue to excel in competition, with 10 members of the speech and debate team earning new National Speech and Debate Association recognition degrees this January. Supporting these achievements is a dedicated network of staff and community resources. During National School Counseling Week, February 2nd to February 6th, we honored and thanked our counselors for being a vital resource to student success through their work in mental health, college planning, and personal development. Similarly, we look forward to recognize school safety officers Tom Sambucino and Sean Massey on February 15th for National SRO Appreciation Day because of their unwavering commitment to campus safety. Looking ahead, students can now apply for Mill Creek Education Foundation scholarships and participate in our February Health and Wellness series focusing on healthy teen relationships. Finally, we invite the community to support our school by attending the 6th annual PTSA Trivia Night on March 20th at Stephanie's Catering. Thank you.
Thomas, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, may I ask a question?
Go ahead.
I would like to know if Mr. Kevin O'Connor is expecting to have a field named after him now.
He probably is.
Oh, tell him I asked and I rolled my eyes.
Okay, I will.
Thank you. Congratulations, though, to him. That is an amazing achievement. Yes, go Trojans.
Citizens to be heard. First citizen, sir, come on up to the podium.
Good morning, supervisors. My name is Mike Wisnowski, and I am a citizen resident of Spring Hill. I'm here to thank you this morning for your positive reaction to my January 6th letter to you concerning the traffic problems the residents of the subdivision of Gulf Road and Spring Hill face on entering and exiting onto Edinburgh Road. The last traffic count indicated the 24-hour traffic study was 6,500 cars. Since that time, the Copperleaf development has been added with its businesses. Summit Township has approved the construction of a Lucky's convenience store, gas station, and restaurant. And recently, they have also approved the a construction of a coffee house opposite the gas station development. This will all lead to the increased traffic on the road, which does not always obey the 45-mile-an-hour speed limit. Thank you for your concerns for our safety. Good job.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Jim Dedad, former Mill Creek Township Government Study Commission member. At the last supervisor meeting, during public comments, Art Olagiri spoke about the importance of the transition process, including timeline, a formal team, and transparency to ensure a successful transition. Kim, he told me that he had a conversation with you after the meeting, and you indicated that you are fully behind the transition. My first question to Jim and Kylie, are you both fully behind the transition? Jim?
Yes.
Kylie?
Yes.
Thank you. I do see that the township has posted on their website their statement regarding the government transition process. It states, I quote, "The township has committed to guiding this work with clarity, transparency, and long-term planning to ensure a smooth and effective transition." It further states that during the first quarter of this year, a plan will be developed. Knowing that there are multiple tasks that need to be completed, with some relying on others to be completed first, my second question is, do you now have a plan with an established timeline?
It's something that we're working on.
So, knowing that the legal and administrative framework is the most time-consuming phase and needs to be completed so candidates running for office in 2027 understand what their powers will be and what is required of them, it's important that this process be started sooner rather than later. Otherwise, they will be running without knowing what the job is, and voters won't be able to be meaningfully evaluated based on their background and experience applicable to the job. You committed to guiding the work with clarity and transparency. You already itemized transition responsibilities on your website, so there isn't anything mysterious about that. It only needs a timeline and possibly some additional detail. Transparency builds public trust. This transition belongs to the community, not just the people in this room. My third question, I recognize that the former Mill Creek Township Government Study Commission's role has ended, and that you, the current Mill Creek supervisors, are responsible for the transition and have stated that the township will manage and oversee the entire process. For clarification, can you explain if your plans include forming a formal transition committee, and if so, how individuals are being selected and where that process is at this point?
I can't comment on that currently.
So this goes back to the timeline and the importance of having these decision points and activities completed. So if you're planning on having a team, you need to identify how you're going to go about building that team, and if it's going to involve, obviously, I've heard it's not going to involve any of the commission members, who 6 of them have volunteered to, share their experiences and knowledge through this process, but it should involve citizens of Mill Creek. So I hope that citizens see a plan and that this activity occurs fairly soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, one last comment.
Go ahead, Jim.
I know you have a meeting before now the supervisors meetings to identify what's going to be on the agenda. I understand that public is invited but cannot speak.
Correct.
So I'm going to speak now about an agenda item. I think that you should have, under communications, a standing item for the status of the transition. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name's Candy. And I came prepared because the last time I thought I was in Lou Bizarro's boxing ring. So, do I need a referee today? Or are we going to have someone keep order? Miss Clear, I forgive you for being disruptive at the last meeting and your vituperative remarks. Anger and disrespect does not look good on you, and it's not flattering at all, okay? And I'm glad you can laugh about it, okay? I am willing to look like a fool to get a point across, okay? It's sad that I have to do that. There are other people here that want to speak. Speaking is not in their nature, it's not in mine, but they are intimidated when you try and bully them, you know? And you might try and knock me down, but you're not gonna knock me out. And when the dust settles, it's gonna be me and Jesus standing. And I hope other people from the township that feel the same way I do. So what I wanna know is, this is gonna sound disjointed because I have 4 or 5 things I wanna talk about. Number one, Mr. Mook, you said you do not need probable cause to run a plate. Did the law change? No. Do you get an incident number when you run a plate? No. You don't? So if you just saw somebody that was, you know, you just wanted to know where they live, you could run a plate for no reason? I think that's against the constitutional law.
Our courts have consistently held that because license plates are in plain view, officers can legally use license plate reader technology or manually input plate numbers without violating constitutional rights.
Okay, can you cite that court case for me?
I don't have it with me now. There are several court cases out there. As a former police officer, I'm sure you can find those on your own.
Oh, I thought maybe you could give it to me, make it easier. I'll look it up. Then I also have another question. This is for the supervisors. The last meeting, you said that there was no charge for the flock cameras at the Mill Creek Mall. The video says otherwise, and I'm going to see if I can play it because I have it on YouTube. I don't know if it will come up or you can hear it, but
yes. Next item is a license agreement to install flock cameras. Attorney Shaw.
Yes, before you is an agreement between the Mill Creek Mall to install 5 flock safety license plate reader cameras at various locations on the mall's property. The township would be responsible for the costs associated with the installation, but the mall would pay the township $3,250 toward installation costs, and will also pay the township annual costs to operate the cameras, which will be the lower of $15,000 over the cost billed by Flock to operate the cameras. The recommendation would be to approve this agreement subject to finalizing some minor changes in the agreement.
so does that sound like to you there's a cost? But yet you said there is not a cost.
There is not a cost.
You just said on this, there is a cost.
If Attorney Shaw wants to address what he said in December, that's his choice, but there is not a cost.
That was in
on
November.
the township end.
That
on
was in November.
Right. The costs are being paid by the mall.
Okay, then I also have, this is on your website, because what you said in November is the township will be reimbursed $3,500.
That is
Correct,
correct.
For the installation, but we don't know what the installation costs. It could cost $6,000, okay? But what you have on your township thing is it also says that Mill Creek Township did not incur any expense for the cost of the cameras. What are we to believe? This on your township website, the video from the last meeting in November, or, you know, what you're saying now? Because I, as a citizen, want to know where my money's going.
So, yes, at that meeting in November, Attorney Shaw read from the agreement that stated the cost. After that meeting, it was a discussion between the mall, Captain Mook, and myself about how this would be paid for. And the invoice from Flock went directly to, I guess things changed after that point in time. There was not a reimbursement basis. The invoice was sent directly to the Cafaro company, and they paid everything. It was $18,932 directly to Flock. And so therefore, it wasn't in the end on a reimbursement basis. And that did change after the November meeting.
Okay, but that wasn't brought up. We're into the first week of February. I also wanted to ask, we have 2 solicitors here today. Is there a reason? Are we paying both of you? I had asked this at a couple meetings before and never got an answer. Mr. Shaw?
Ma'am, I will repeat myself again. There's a flat fee that the township pays, and so both solicitors at this meeting are under that flat fee. So it doesn't cost the township any more for there to be 2 solicitors here. And there are matters that Ms. Caparosa works on that she would be in a better position to answer than I would if the question comes up.
Okay, and then also at the last meeting, I had mentioned, you had said that your contract is the same this year as it was last year. There's a difference of, it's $243,000 that you are making flat fee this year. Last year, you told me it was a $200,000 flat fee.
Ma'am, I didn't have the contract in front of me. I gave you a ballpark number. The number hasn't changed from last year to this year.
Their contract is split into many different services. To attend these meetings, these are called general solicitor services. Under the general solicitor services, there is a cap of about $200,000. That does not mean that they don't provide other services. There are special solicitor services. We work with Attorney Kuhar at McDonald-Illig to do our labor law services. So there's other services that McDonald-Illig provides other than them attending meetings. So this is considered general solicitor services and is under that $200,000. So when he says it does not cost any more for Attorney Caparosa, that is because they are under a flat fee for meetings.
Well, you said in that meeting in December, it was $20,275 a month. So
Yes.
you had a specific number.
For general solicitor services, that is correct.
So that comes out to $243,000 a year, not $200,000 flat fee. That's $43,000 more.
I think he was also talking in generalities I think he also said about $20,000 and about $200,000. I don't have the specific dollars, but I know it's around $200,000 a year.
Okay.
Okay,
well,
Candy, your time is up for
right.
this session. We're going to keep moving so we can get other citizens to be heard.
Thank you for your
Yeah,
time.
thank you.
and,
You'd always phone call us. You've never called us. You've never actually made a phone
People
call.
can't hear you. If I'm talking to you on the phone, the public wants to hear you.
Oh, so you want the sound bite?
No,
Okay.
I don't want a
Well, no,
sound bite.
Please,
I just-
give us a call. We would be more than happy to sit down with you and answer these questions. Jim and I both, and Dr. Morris, we'd be more than happy. You just have to make the phone call.
Well, they want to hear here.
Sure.
You know, that's why some people can't come here. They want to watch, and hear what you're saying at your meetings. And they can't hear that if I'm having a private conversation with you. It could be he said, she said, and it's like, when you can say, I didn't say that. So
Yeah, it's
that's
just
the
tough
reason
in this.
I don't do that.
It is challenging in this forum, Candy, though, to address your concerns in a detailed manner. Like Supervisor Clear said, we often meet with people. I'll spend 45 minutes to an hour in this room talking to a resident. Yes, it's one-on-one. Other people don't know what we're saying, but at least that resident gets their questions addressed in a more detailed manner, as opposed to here.
Well,
Just-
thank you for your
Okay,
time.
thank you.
And I do continue to pray for you all for wisdom, okay?
Any other citizens to be heard today?
Hi, Nancy Shea. I just have a couple follow-ups. Regarding Jim Dedad's comments, you mentioned you were working on the transition. For the sake of transparency, can you explain where you are in that process right now and what your plans are on who's going to be on that team?
I don't have any update for you, Nancy, other than what we've shared.
Mrs. Clear said she was.
Okay,
That you had a.
I have nothing more to comment on.
Are you working on the transition?
We already said we were.
Okay, for the sake of transparency, where are you in the process?
We are looking at documents, having internal discussions right now.
About?
The transition.
Specifically?
Correct.
Specifically?
Specifically.
No, what specific parts of the transition?
All of it.
Is this acceptable? Do you think this is acceptable? Okay, my second question. I read in Erie News Now that there were $270 million worth of federal grants that were awarded. And when I looked at the list of what was awarded, I didn't see Mill Creek on the list. I was wondering if you applied for these grants that had to do with public safety, infrastructure, education, healthcare, economic development, and environmental restoration. Now, Meadville received $1.18 million for their fire department, and Gannon University also received something in this grant. Did you apply for it?
I know we received some grant money for traffic
It wasn't on the
signalization
list. It wasn't this
on
grant.
12th Street, but
It wasn't the $270 million federal grant. We have a whole list of what was awarded. Did you apply for that grant?
I'm not aware of
Okay.
if we applied for any of
I don't.
those
I guess,
specific grants.
Nancy, I would ask,
I don't even know what the name of the grant is.
Okay, I'll
Can you-
find more specifics
Yeah,
about it.
if you could
Because I'd like to
specifically-
know why you didn't apply for the grant.
if you could specifically identify what grant you're talking about, it'd be easier for us to evaluate whether it's
It was the
something that
one
was
through Dave
applied for.
McCormick through the 270.
That doesn't
federal.
tell me anything.
It was just recent. It was just a big article in Erie News Now. I'm surprised you weren't aware of it just this past week. And one more thing, Mr. Bach, you consistently vote no on the lease agreements. Can you explain why you vote no? I mean, you just vote no, but we'd like to know, for the record, why you are against those leases for the vehicles.
I have stated that before in the past when this first came up.
Okay.
I'm a firm believer in cash as you go. Pay cash up front, be done with it, own the product. So I consistently vote no against leasing.
I mean, I totally agree with you.
So
I just wish you would speak more and clarify your positions, because it almost
I
looks.
have in the past, so I'm not one that wants to keep reiterating things, and I have stated my position on this.
But every time there's
in
a
the
vote that
past.
you vote no,
So I
it would
think-
be good if you clarified it.
Okay, thank you
There was
for,
another vote no today on the leases for the,
right, and any enterprise lease that comes up from now until my term ends, I will likely be voting in the negative.
can I ask if you
Likely.
have any involvement in the negotiations of whether it's a lease or whether it's a purchase? I mean, do they include you in the discussions? Like, how do you get overridden on this? Who decides?
Anytime a department, for example, today was Parks and Rec, they do have the option of purchasing the vehicles. Their enterprise is not requiring like a minimum amount of leases or anything like that. So we still do have the option of purchasing vehicles, which we have done in Public Works.
Okay. All right, so this is, all right. Okay, thanks for clarification.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Art Olajeri, and I always say I've been a resident here for 40 years. I operated my business here for 20-plus years. The first thing I'd like to do is to publicly apologize to Mr. Cliff, who is not here. I was wrong at the last meeting because I only apologized to him privately, and I made this statement in the public of this room. And what I stated was incorrect, despite the fact that I got it from a trusted official, not from Mill Creek, but from somewhere else. I had insinuated that he had gotten speeding tickets speeding in from Ashtabula to attend a fire. That was incorrect and false. I apologize, Mr. Cliff, in absentia. At the last meeting, the Board of Supervisors indicated the time limit for taxpayer comments were 5 minutes, and that the supervisors would respond to taxpayer questions. I assume that is still the case?
Yes.
Good. I would like to know why you offered a rather generous contract to the solicitor, considering the discovery that the Mill Creek Study Commission pointed out that the legal fees in Mill Creek Township were significantly higher than other like-sized townships. We're not talking about tens of thousands of dollars, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars. Our legal fees are egregious as compared to other like-sized townships in Pennsylvania. You would think at the very least you would allow other law firms to quote a bid for legal services. The three of you have a duty to the taxpayers of Mill Creek Township to be fiscally responsible. $800,000 a year, plus or minus 50, as opposed to $200,000 and $300,000 and $400,000 a year in other like-sized townships is not fiscally responsible. You would not be that careless with your personal finances shopping for a particular service, Mr. Bach, Mrs. Clear, Dr. Morris. Dr. Morris, are you still there on the phone?
I am.
You would not spend money like that in your medical practice if you knew other doctors were spending far less for their legal fees. I know I would not spend money that recklessly in my business. I don't think, Dr. Morris, I don't think you were elected on a platform to merely being complicit. No disrespect intended. My next point is a general meeting rule for elected officials as the Sunshine Law applies to the Thursday pre-meetings, the agenda meetings that are regularly scheduled now on Thursdays at 10 o'clock. You will have to bear with me, the print is small, not for a 70-year-old to read, but I'm going to read this law to the best of my ability. It's 710.1. Public participation, general rule. Except as provided in subsection D, the board or council of a political subdivision or an authority created by a political subdivision shall provide a reasonable opportunity at each advertised regular meeting and advertised special meeting for residents of the political subdivision or of the authority created by a political subdivision, or for taxpayers of the political subdivision or of the authority created by a political subdivision, or for both, to comment on matters of concern, official action, or deliberation which are or may be before the board or council prior to taking official action. The board or council has the option to accept all public comments at the beginning of the meeting. If the board or council determines that there is not sufficient time at a meeting for residents of the political subdivision or by the authority created by a political subdivision, or for taxpayers of the political subdivision, we're that political subdivision, or of the authority created by a political subdivision, or both for comment. The board or council may defer the comment period to the next regular meeting or to a special meeting occurring in advance of the next regular meeting. Mr. Shaw, I know you may have to look that up, but is there an answer to that so that we could speak at that next agenda meeting?
There's no official action is taken at that meeting, and that's the trigger.
Pardon me?
No official action is taken at that meeting, which is the trigger for the public comment.
Okay.
So you were referring to our new agenda meetings that nobody has attended yet.
Well, there wasn't, oh, yeah, you're right. I tried to.
I'm telling you right now, if people don't start attending them, in my opinion, we shouldn't be having them, because
I understand.
We're just reiterating things we already know. We initiated those for the benefit of the public.
In light of that, can you give it 6 months?
Nobody has attended. Now, granted, we've only had 2, so it's early, but we need to see people there, because it's not productive if they're not coming.
And county council, just so you know, Art, we actually kind of adopted this practice from my time on council. We had agenda setting meetings. I was the finance chair, and finance chair ran the agenda setting meetings. We would go over everything that was on, that could go on the agenda and decide whether or not it would, if we had enough information, if anyone had any questions for the directors. Most of them were appropriations, but that way we could get our questions answered as elected officials before we went in to vote. So, but there was there's no comment period because it's just agenda setting. It's not, you're not making a formal decision.
So that means that the Sunshine Law does not apply to that because, okay, you seem pretty sure that's all.
Yeah, again, because there's no official action.
Okay.
And Art, just because we're not asking for comment during those agenda setting meetings, I'm happy to answer any questions on the agenda after the meeting's over.
Okay, duly noted.
If
Thank
anyone
you.
has specific questions about any of the items on the agenda.
I often wondered the same thing that Candy asked about why you didn't expound upon why you voted no for those lease cars. I'm still working on that. I would like to back up to my other question, though, about the legal fees. And Mr. Shaw, as I said, it's nothing personal against you or the law firm. I use McDonald and Illig, all the time I was in business. I was very happy with your services. What I'm against are large legal fees. So I repose that question. Was there any thought given to asking another law firm to bid on that? I know you don't have to, but in the interests of taxpayers, I think that it should be done. And when you're looking at what the Mill Creek Government Study uncovered on the differences, those fees are egregious. And so I'm just wondering whether there was any discussion about that.
I did not hear any discussion on it. I wasn't privy to any discussion, if there was any. I don't disagree with you that for professional services, we should be periodically evaluating what firms that we employ here, similar to the auditor's, request for services. Before I got here, my understanding was we used a local firm for many, many, many years, and then Supervisor Morgan and I and Mr. Groh decided to, reevaluate that and put that out, and that's how we, secured the services of the Pittsburgh firm, which we've been using. So I don't disagree with you that I think it's productive to periodically evaluate, what firms we're doing business with and to, seek other proposals from time to time.
As a small businessman, every single line on the P&L has to be substantiated. And when you see a discrepancy like that, when your peers are not making those kinds of payments, it sends up a red flag. Dr. Morris, one of those questions was posed to you, and I know you're basically a small business person being a doctor. And if you're going over with your accountant and something that you would discuss with your accountant when they're not consistent with other companies your size, I am sure, and especially since you told me the last time I spoke with you that you had an MBA, you would question, why are these fees so high? And why did we just offer a rather generous contract when that is something we should be looking at? You are to be fiscally responsible. And to me, as a small businessman, that was not a fiscally responsible thing to do. Do you care to comment, Dr. Morris?
Just at this time, from what I reviewed, the budget was approved last year, and that one I reviewed once I got into office. And then additionally, if your suggestion is that we look at other firms for next year, yeah, I agree, that would be fine.
Mr. Bach?
What's your question, Art?
Would you look at other firms or solicit bids for next year? Is that something that you would consider?
I'm always up for consideration for evaluating who we utilize here. So yes, I would be on board with that.
Mrs. Clear must have got tired of my voice.
I think your time may be up. I don't know.
Okay.
Supervisor Clear's
Does
manning
anybody
the
find,
timing, but
10 seconds of brevity that I did not plan. And I always like to say Candy and I are on the same team. But there's one particular law enforcement person that I am acquainted with that would routinely run a driver's license over the guys, for the guys that were dating his daughter. And not once or twice, that was common practice. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
thank you. Hello.
Hello. Is Kim going to be back, or what's going on there?
Pardon me?
Is Kim going to be back? What's going on there?
I'm-
She should probably be here for this.
I can't answer that.
Okay.
No, we want to keep things moving.
Okay, all right.
Well, did you sign in? Is
I
the
did.
sign-up sheet there, Cheryl?
There are cards.
Oh, cards. Okay, good.
My name is Caleb Sundance. I would like you to know that I don't really want to be here making these statements, but this is a topic that is important enough for me to be here this morning. I need you to know that I am a software engineer. I have 10 years of professional experience in the field, and I have built my own computers, and I am very familiar with tech-related security. Because of this experience, what I'm about to share is coming from a place that is well-informed. I need you to know that my statements are not that of speculation or of some vague fear, but are measured and thoroughly considered based on factual information. It has come to my attention that the Mill Creek Township has supported the use of flock cameras and in fact has actively sought out their installation. Instead, the supervisors should be actively working to put laws in place to disallow the use of these sorts of cameras. To be clear, I am not against security cameras in general. They play an important role to the uninformed. These flock cameras tend to be viewed as simply more advanced security cameras, but they are an entirely different beast. These cameras facilitate the violation of our Fourth Amendment rights, are controlled by a private business with no real oversight or transparency, and as a result are not actually controlled by the state, county, or township, which results in gross negligence by anyone supporting or using these cameras. These cameras have been shown to be highly insecure, easily hackable, and as someone in tech, I know they will never be able to be secure enough to justify any amount of perceived benefit gained from their use, especially when we already have many tools to accomplish the same ends. Despite Flock's safety's claim, these cameras do track and store data on not just cars, their license plates, and other car-related identifications like bumper stickers, but they track and store data on people as well. These cameras use AI and along with other tools can easily identify individuals. The more these cameras go up, the easier anyone can track your movements throughout the entire city and county in real time. And yes, I said anyone intentionally. Speaking out about this issue comes with concern for police officers and elected officials' safety as well. This is not your typical partisan issue where one side is pro-police and the other isn't. These tools can and inevitably will be used against police officers and our government officials. Because of the very premise of their use, the insecurity is baked into the tool and puts us all at risk. The only people who have a real interest in these cameras existing may be the private company that is selling these cameras to begin with. Supporting these cameras is to support the largest national security risk to date. To ignore this incredible existential threat is to actively harm not just the people you represent, but to harm yourself and further our country. I read the statements that the township published yesterday, and despite highlighting a single case where a court in Virginia ruled against a specific claim about the cameras, there is a list of dozens and dozens of municipalities who have canceled or rejected these flock cameras instead of actively working to put them in place for the very reasons I have just stated. I will now read a short list of the locations of a few. Santa Cruz, California, Eugene, Oregon, Olympia, Washington, Watertown, Massachusetts, Flagstaff, Arizona, Kent, Ohio, San Marcos, Texas, Warren, Rhode Island, Hillsborough, North Carolina, Scarsdale, New York, Lake County, Florida. There is much more I could say about the issues with these cameras, but for now I will prompt you all to watch the very detailed and thorough videos by an engineer named Ben Jordan. These videos can be found on YouTube. I will also be available for further discussion and will send more detailed information about the topic to your emails. No plausible deniability will have space here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, if I could just,
Yes.
I believe somebody may have inadvertently picked up the sign-up sheet and the cards when they gathered their papers. If anybody that's spoken could check and see if they have those, they could return them back to the podium, please.
Art, Candy, Art, Gildy, evidence. No? Okay. I thought he was holding up. He has cards. No, I have them. I stole them. You stole them? Well, there was no intent there.
There was no intent.
Okay, you got the sheet back. Okay, thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for your time and attention. First of all, I'm here to speak about the flock cameras. I'm a father, a husband, a psychologist, and recently learned that the flock cameras had been installed at the Lowe's as well as the Mill Creek Mall. I've already stopped shopping at Lowe's and the mall as much as a result, and have also spoken with other friends who have mentioned this concern and that it has and is going to continue to impact their spending of money in Mill Creek. I think these cameras are a dramatic infringement on our liberty, our privacy, our Fourth Amendment right against unreasonable searches. I think, as was mentioned before, it's important to note these cameras do not function in the way that the automatic license plate readers often do in the past, where what those cameras do is they will look at a license plate, compare it to a list, and then discard that photo. These cameras, as was stated earlier by Division Commander Kaminsky, I believe, oh no, he's gonna complete, by the chief, sorry, are gonna be held on to for 30 days, which is the default that FLOC has in their agreements. There is room to negotiate that agreement with FLOC and to say, this will only be kept for 1 day or 3 days, the actual photos. That doesn't reduce the ability to search them against the lists immediately. It simply means the space for abuse is greatly reduced. I think it's great to hear that the Division Sergeant Kaminsky is going to be checking and conducting biannual reviews. That sounds great, but I think it's important to recognize that even biannual reviews are only retroactive. They don't protect us against the abuse to begin with. Furthermore, if the agreement with FLOC is based on the default, not only can state and federal and local police search this database of information, but FLOC also works with governments in other countries who can also access this information. If that was not accounted for in the agreement with FLOC, that means we are putting residents at risk of persecution if they've moved here from other countries, if one day, similarly, this is in control of a private company. So whoever's in charge right now may not always be in charge. Anyone wanting to go politically and look after someone, they've got 30 days of information. FLOC has also begun to use AI so that not only are they scanning plates, they're scanning cars, they've started to associate what vehicles are seen in places at similar times, and proactively informing police departments and other agencies saying, this looks a little bit suspicious, you might want to check out this vehicle. These vehicles have been seen together, which is a far step beyond simply having a camera scanning, saying, oh, this license plate just went by. I think it's important to realize in the same way that you might have friends or family who can draw a great picture that looks like Scooby-Doo, but similarly, when AI is used for that, you go to ChatGPT and say, hey, make me a picture of Scooby-Doo. It'll pop one right out. You don't have to study it for a long time. Similarly, yes, having a police officer scanning plates is one thing. Having AI collating all of this information from multiple towns and states and countries, and it being at the mercy, as was mentioned earlier, technologically, it's not very secure. It's sending signals wirelessly, which means that someone else could just piggyback on those signals, whether it's someone up to no good, whether it's agents of another country. It's inherently insecure as a system. I also recognize that this is extremely confusing. I don't think FLOC sat down and gives a clear discussion of the risks and benefits to anyone who signed up for them. I think it's very easy for us to say, here's some new technologies that can make our lives easier. Why not do it? You know, I often talk to I've got a 3 and 6-year-old, soon birthdays, and sometimes they say, well, why don't we just do that? And I go, yes, you could get to the couch quicker if you just jumped from here to there, but you're probably going to get hurt and knock some things over along the way. I don't disagree that the flock cameras may make certain things much quicker and much easier in certain ways, but I think it's important to recognize the risks that are being posed to us all along. Yeah. So I encourage you all to think about readdressing the contract with FLOC at the very least if the cameras are staying up. New Hampshire has done some very good negotiations, adding things such as insisting that the data and information shall not be sent to, shared, or used by any other person or entity, which would ensure that information stays local, making sure that the privacy of Mill Creek residents and surrounding individuals are respected, not subject to the whims of people from who knows where. Thank you for your time.
Sir, could you just please give your name for the Township Secretary for the
Daniel
minutes?
Brayman, sorry. Daniel Brayman, B-R-A-M-A-N. Thanks, sorry about that.
Borrow your pen. Thank you so much. Hello. How's everybody? How's everyone's butts doing? Is this the right? Did I find one here? Okay, cool. Wow. Hey, everybody. What's going on? Good morning. It's good to see you again.
It's almost afternoon.
Yeah, no, how about that? Anyway, my name's Ailu. You can call me Island. First off, I want to say hello to Kylie. Welcome. Your success was so enthralling for me. So I'm just super stoked that you're here. I can't see your face yet, but I just wanted to say that. So today.
Sorry, I am still here.
Yeah. And today, I wanted to talk about bike lanes. And it's interesting how many synchronicities kind of came up during the other conversations that I heard. For instance, the woman who left talked about the grant. I believe, I'm not sure, but she might have been talking about Governor Shapiro's $1.6 billion Pennsylvania grant for infrastructure within our state, of which I think 290 million was, so I'm not sure. That's the last I heard about it, but might be something to look into, free money and all that. So I rode my bike here again today, and I want to say it's sunny out now and beautiful. It's a lot like skiing. There's really nothing, different about it. You bundle up, you cover up your skin parts. And I didn't do it to prove a point. I just love doing it. It's possible. However, there still are no bike lanes. I understand it's impossible to put them in the winter sometimes, but in the spirit of promoting solutions or just not complaining, could we do some pilot projects this summer slash spring? Because I know the city got $21 million to do public infrastructure like that to promote public safety for pedestrians and everything. And my thinking is there's only really 4 places that people have to go. So one of them is the grocery store. And there's no link to Wegmans. Like if you were to try to ride your bike to Wegmans right now, which I have done, you would be putting your life at risk, serious risk. And it's one of these places that people have to go. And for me, it doesn't make sense why one inherently couldn't do that. I mean, it's not a far ride, especially on an e-bike. It takes about 12 minutes. And, you can bring back groceries on a cart like I have outside, or in bags, or on a backpack, or whatever. And I've been kind of, I think humans in general, we like to argue for the limitations. There's always going to be an argument for that. But recently I've been applying this kind of mantra to everything that seems difficult on the surface. Because I went to the Science Center in Cleveland over President's Day and met an astronaut, and I got to see the lunar module and everything like that. And it occurred to me, like I was looking at the dates of this thing, I was thinking to myself, how is it that in 1969, we were able to send people 240,000 miles across space in a rocket filled with explosive fuel and bring them back safely? But in 2026, 56 and a half years later, I can't safely ride my bicycle 2.4 miles from this building to Wegmans, conveniently 100,000 times less shorter the distance. So I've been applying that. Like, if that can be done then, this can be done now. And if there's grant money on the table, Hungry Hippo that, because it's available, and if the city is going to be putting in bike lanes, you need to have links. You need to connect downtown to Wegmans. You need to connect downtown to businesses that people have to go to, like the grocery store, schools. My first thought, and as I was riding here, I actually saw a sign on 6th Street, kind of like in front of Waldemere. And it was like Pennsylvania bicycle route. And I'm looking at the ground, looking, where are the bike lanes? Where is the paint? And in fact, that very same street just down the road, I was run off the street by an EMTA bus who was playing games. And I do not play games on the road, but he wanted to play games. I've never been so shook in my life. He pulled the bus into the bike lane as I was coming up abreast, because I was going faster because he was in a school zone and I'm on my e-bike. That's not okay. It's not okay. How are people going to navigate Asbury intersection with 12th Street? Think about it, because these are issues that have to be addressed. People are going to places. You can't just put a bike lane in disjointed. There's a bike lane on Green Garden that doesn't lead anywhere. I go down Green Garden, I hit 12th Street, and I'm just stuck on the road with traffic. There's a bike lane up on past like Asbury Road, way up there. And people I've talked to say it's even more dangerous now because the people who are using the bike lane think it's safe, but it's not any safer than it was. And the people who are driving, they don't know what to think. What is this random strip of bike lane? It doesn't go anywhere. So,
Sir, I'll ask you to wrap up your thoughts.
For sure.
So we can get other people.
I think okay, but the last thing I want to say, and you mentioned this is clear, is that sidewalks. For those people who think sidewalks are the place for bicycles to ride, they are by far the most dangerous place for bicycles to ride. And I'm not just talking about navigating the bumps and the cracks and things. I'm talking about people turning in and out of the intersections. They aren't looking for bicycles coming at that speed. And I've been hit on a skateboard, only going at skateboard speed on the sidewalk, by a car who just was looking left, and I'm coming up, and he thinks he's just looking for traffic, and it's very, very, very dangerous. We need to have dedicated infrastructure for this new form of technology. Lithium-ion batteries are only 2010s and to now. They're only 15 years young. We need to put this in place because it is the future. If I can get here today, you can get here today. And this is in the dead of winter. It is a nice day, I'll give you that. I have seen, because I'm on my bicycle, probably studied more pedestrian activity in the winter than people in cars. People in cars are trying to get places. People do not use the sidewalks in the winter, and that is 4 months of our year. They're impassable. That's where all the snow from the road goes. Meanwhile, the snows are salted. Have you ever tried to push a stroller on a sidewalk? Even in the summer, it is a horrible experience. There are bumps, there are cracks, there this or that. It's not a nice experience. So bike lanes will feed so many birds with the same scone. Thanks.
Okay, thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Oh, could you address that though?
Pardon?
Could you address that? Like, are there any, I've been talking for my 5, but could you tell me, like, if you have plans for that? Like,
For bike lanes?
yeah.
Maybe Matt can answer if we have anything. I know there was a rendering for Asbury Road a while ago, but,
Yeah,
and it does have bike lanes part of the way, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the thing I think it's important to remember is that bike lanes are infrastructure, very much like the roadways, the sidewalks. There are costs to install them. You know, widening a road would require construction, under drain, under gravel base, and then more asphalt, or the alternative is sacrificing existing driving lanes to create bike lanes. So there's a trade-off there. I will say that the county, as the Metropolitan Planning Organization, is going through they're updating their long-range transportation plan, and multimodal bikes, pedestrians, what's known as vulnerable road users, basically anybody that's not in a car, is a big focus of that new plan. And so it takes a while to get these things planned out, programmed, and then funded, but it is something that, you know, is being actively talked about. But I can't give you any specifics for, you know, Route 20 is going to have a bike lane next year. That's, you know, not possible, but.
When are those meetings, or?
I don't know. Reach out to me. I think you have my email, and I can let you know when the next public meeting is.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sir?
Hi, my name's Eric Peterson. I've been a Mill Creek resident for about 6 years now. I'm coming to address the flock cameras here in Mill Creek at the mall complex and near Lowe's. I think I'm not going to make this too long because a lot of the good points have been made, but there have also been lots of reports of how this technology has been misused by law enforcement themselves to track ex-girlfriends, their new boyfriends, just someone they thought as suspicious. I saw in Colorado someone just a police officer showing up at someone's house demanding answers where they were going all these times. And my other issue is, you know, I would love to see more transparency on the transition to the council manager form of government. And that's all. Do I need to sign this?
Yes, thank you, Eric. Any other citizens to be heard?
Mary Ellen Majock, 50, well, I don't have to say my address.
No.
3 years ago was my first time here. Happy anniversary. Chris said he'd get me flowers. And it's been a real education for me in civic action, resistance, questioning authority, looking for answers that aren't easy to find. I had a couple things I wanted to talk about, but now I'm gonna have to jump around because everybody else did such an awesome job. But my primary concern right now is the government transition. I have questions, and then I'll reclaim my time after you answer. Will there be non-employee citizens invited to the transition team? Non-employee citizens invited to participate?
I don't know.
Don't know.
That's my answer.
Oh, boy.
That's in discussion.
You wanted an answer.
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, and the other thing was, Kim, you missed a whole bunch of really great presentations, and I hope you watched the videos.
Okay, thank you.
will there be public meetings to seek input and feedback on the transition once the plan is in place?
I don't know.
Okay, and the last thing on that issue is, in my opinion, as vocal opponents to this very popular change that Kim Clear and Mark Shaw are, I really think that you should take a back seat and kind of be an observer and let the others on the team take the show on the road.
Ma'am, let me correct you, I did not take a position, so.
Okay, I do remember you.
Well, I was correcting their position that they had taken with respect to attorney's fees, which people objected to because it didn't fit their narrative. But I will state again that, you know, when you handpick what you want to look at, it'll tell whatever story you want it to tell.
So you're saying you were not in opposition to it, or you did not publicly say you're in opposition to the government stuff?
I didn't take a position, ma'am.
You didn't
From
take a
my
position.
perspective,
Okay, good.
whatever the government wants to
Good,
be.
thanks, I reclaim my time.
I just want it to be the best government it can be.
Okay. Again, I'm coming about Flock 2. I listened to the meeting on November 11th and appreciate Candy for playing it so that I don't have to read it. And then someone else gave me something that they said was a public document, and I'm like, whoa, how'd you get hold of that? And it's a November 4 letter from the Mill Creek Mall to the township. First sentence concerns me, and maybe they're mistaken. I could say that. They're not here to defend. You previously advised licensor that you are installing Flock wireless solar-powered license plate reader cameras throughout Mill Creek Township and expressed a desire to install several on the grounds of the shopping center, et cetera, et cetera. They named the price. You said the price is reimbursed. That's okay. But I just wanted to point it out that this letter from November 4th jives with what was said on November 11th, but those things weren't in the minutes. So there wasn't a meeting to talk about these things aren't happening, that there's no cost to us until somebody asked the question. Next thing is with respect to the flocked cameras. The chief mentioned having to chase getaway cars at the mall, and having those readers is going to help them be quite beneficial to solving these types of crimes at the mall. Are there really that many calls for quick responses at the mall? No answer. Well, I sure as hell will avoid them all from now on. I know I'm not the only one. 5 states have enacted legislation restricting the use of the cameras. The lawsuit that was quoted by the township in their press release yesterday is apparently going to be appealed. As Caleb, I think, said, there's numerous communities that are canceling their agreements. The ACLU is filing lawsuits. I think we need to really take a hard look at what is the cost to benefit of this. If we're going to catch a whole lot of criminals, but nobody's privacy is going to be violated, I'll be happy to see those report. But otherwise, I'm opposed to those flock cameras and to the way they were implemented. That's all I have, and I hope not to come back.
It's late, so I will be brief. My name is Chris Majok. I've been a township resident for 21 years. I'm a retired historian. I just want to associate myself with the comments of fellow citizens this morning expressing concern about the flock camera system. You will forgive some of us, I hope, if in this time of widespread abuses by the federal government of the Fourth Amendment, its wanton exploitation of administrative warrants in the arrest and disappearance of thousands of persons from their homes and workplaces, if we are at least skeptical of the township's well-intentioned, genuine reassurances that the data and other images attained from these flock cameras will only be used for legitimate criminal investigations. Too many local governments across the country have become complicit in the abuses of ICE and Customs and Border Patrol, becoming willing or unwilling partners in the current administration's reckless and indiscriminate violation of civil and human rights. And we should remember that more than 250 years ago, British authorities' issuance of general warrants empowered British soldiers and other officers of the Crown to broadly search and seize alleged smuggled goods of the colonists in their homes, taverns, ships, carriages, and elsewhere. Beyond inspiring Boston lawyer James Otis to famously argue that a, quote, man's home is his castle, these abuses, which Otis called the worst instrument of arbitrary power ever devised, these abuses ultimately led to protections of American citizens and all persons living in the United States, citizen or not, by way of the Fourth Amendment, which guarantees all of us the right to be secure in, quote, our persons, houses, papers, and effects. And in our age, effects encompasses our vehicles. We might reasonably ask whether the possession of flock cameras by a private for-profit company and the data they collect for third parties can be considered akin to general warrants, or perhaps the loyalist informers of the Revolutionary period who spied on their kinsmen for the British. And we should also remember, finally, that there is not one single instance in the history of this country where a mass surveillance program did not expand insidiously, far beyond its original stated intent, no matter how benign or innocuous it may have seemed at the beginning. Finally, just as Otis declared that a man's house or woman's house is his or her castle, we must now declare that our phones, our cars, and our data are part of that same castle, deserving the same protections from government complicity in the intrusion by private entities of our effects. Thanks a lot.
Any other citizens to be heard today? Okay, hearing none. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Seconded.
Okay, Supervisor Morris, second that. I'm going to call for a vote. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I vote yes. We are adjourned at 11:34.